Hey, thanks for joining me for another Sharp Saturday video here at Survival on Purpose, where it's Saturday and we take a look at something sharp. My name is Brian, and today that something sharp is this Spyderco Charisma knife that was given to me by Eric Glesser from Spyderco at Blade Show this year. I think you're going to like this, and I know I like it. It's become a very frequent member of my everyday carry rotation. We're going to talk about this knife in just a minute, but first, today's words of wisdom from the Bible. Today's wisdom is from the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 30 in the NIV. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Which, when we take a closer look at this, you'll see why that was a relevant piece of scripture. And then I'd like to give a big thank you to my friends at Hog Holsters for sponsoring today's video. Hog Holsters is not only the longest running channel sponsor here at Survival on Purpose, but they're also the most comfortable concealable holster I've ever used. Once I found Hog Holsters, I quit looking. They are 100% made in the USA, right down to the screws that hold the ulti-clip on there. And every single Hog Holster is 100% handcrafted to fit your specific pistol model. There is no one-size-fits-all at Hog Holsters. They're made in Arizona by a United States Marine Corps veteran, and Hog Holsters is helping Americans wear guns. And if you use the coupon code Survival on Purpose, all one word, if there's somewhere you can put a code in, you'll be glad you did. So thanks to Hog Holsters for being a channel sponsor here. Now, let's talk about this very cool Charisma knife. And I'm going to bring you down here to the old tabletop in just a minute, give you some close-ups on it, because it really is, like, it has become literally if I'm dressing like for church or anything else, this is my everyday carry knife, kind of my dress knife now. And you'll see why when we talk about the specs. So without me rambling anymore, why don't we just get to doing that, huh? Alrighty, here's the Spyderco Charisma Model C259. Like I said, this knife was given to me by Eric Glesser at Blade Show this year. I was talking to him about doing knife reviews and different things. He said, hey, check this one out. I designed this one myself. It is literally one of the lightest full-size folders Spyderco's ever made. And although you may think it doesn't look like a full-size folder, I'll show you something in just a minute. This one is manufactured at Spyderco's headquarters in Golden, Colorado. Ships in 4 handle colors: black, gray, red, and blue. So I said this is a full-size folder. So we'll talk about the specs, and then I'll show you a comparison to another knife that is certainly a full-size folder. So the overall length of this thing open is 6.8 inches, or if you're still stuck in that metric system, that's 173 millimeters. The closed length is 3.82 inches, or 97 millimeters. The blade style is a drop point blade. The blade length is 2.98 inches, almost 3 inches, or that's 76 millimeters. And the blade thickness is 0.05 inches, or 1.2 millimeters. It is a full flat grind. There's all the way down to the bevel. The steel is CTS-BD1N. The handle material is fiberglass reinforced nylon. The lock type is a back lock, and it has a reversible tip-up wire pocket clip, ambidextrous. And the weight on this thing, here's where it really gets really cool. The weight on this thing is 0.8 ounces, or 23 grams. Yes, less than 1 ounce. This thing, again, is made in Golden, Colorado in the United States, and the MSRP on this thing is $130, but the street price is about $98, and that is for an American-made, in Colorado, very nice knife. So I have been carrying this in my pocket for, I don't know, since June. So that's when Blade Show was the beginning of June. So it's June, July. So we're about 2.5 months, almost 3 months. Maybe a little over 3 months now that I think about it. But it's very easy to carry. It weighs literally less than 1 ounce. Doesn't take up a lot of room. But let me show you something here. This is the Para 2 Lightweight, which I've been using for an EDC for a while. So this, again, is one of my favorite EDC knives, along with several others. But this has become like almost my go-to, except when I am dressing a little lighter. And I've been carrying this one at church and when I'm wearing lighter pants and stuff. And it's got it keeps the weight down because it's got a little scalloping there on the handle and all that. But let me just show you something. Here this is, and here this is. Certainly this handle is a lot bigger and a lot bulkier, but look at the difference. Look at the blade length. This thing is almost as long as the Para 2. I mean, it's maybe a 1/4 inch difference or something like that. I'm trying to line them up with where the cutting edge starts. So it's that long. Now, certainly it's not as robust as the Para 2, but let's face it, most of us for an EDC knife, we just need something to open letters and open stuff and just do some small cutting stuff, cutting string, open packages, whatever. Maybe cut an apple. This thing is super, super. I mean, it's. I wish you could feel this. It less than an ounce, like I say. It's got a back lock for simplicity, so it truly is completely ambidextrous. Change this tip up carry to here. Very, very, very thin blade. This blade actually will bend if you want it to, or just it's how thin it is. This knife is so thin that they have to sharpen it by hand. They said it will not fit any of their sharpening equipment that they use. They sharpen this thing by hand. So I want to give you a little science here. Now, I've been carrying this and using this for a couple of months, so this is not a pristine factory edge. But I just want to see, I haven't sharpened it at all. So we got the testing medium in frame. We're just going to see how well this thing will do some of that sharp stuff now that I've been using it. And even after using it for a couple of months, look at that. Look at all that hair there. I'm telling you, this thing really, really, really impressed me. Again, under 1 ounce. That is just so, so cool. This is a very, very easy knife to carry. You won't even know it's there. It fits down in your pocket great. You've got this wire. I like these wire clips they use. They're just so comfortable, so smooth. And one-handed opening still works great. It's not really one-handed closing, but I guess we're about to see if I can cut my finger. No, I'm not going to do that. But so it's a traditional back lock. But I got to say, in my opinion, Eric Glesser hit a home run with this knife. This is absolutely a very, 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 very good knife, in my opinion. Again, it's not a super heavy-duty, rough-duty knife, but for an EDC knife that you're just going to carry and use for what most of us use our EDC knives for. Alrighty, well, as I said, I think this Spyderco Charisma is not only aptly named, but is absolutely probably one of the coolest EDC knives that I have seen in a long, long time. Comes in at under $100, made in the USA, and it is, by golly, yak shaving sharp out of the box, and it is under 1 ounce. I mean, I've got some pretty thin pants that I bought for traveling, and sometimes even a lightweight knife like this kind of wears it down a little, pulls your pocket down a little bit. Definitely you feel you got it in here. Not only is this lighter, but the overall footprint, even though the blade is only that much shorter, is thinner. Look at the difference in thinness there. You see that? And it's so much smaller. It's just, you have a pretty long blade for doing things that you might need a long blade for, like cutting an apple or something. But at the same time, man, it is like literally probably a half a feather of weight. So that's it. That's the Spyderco Charisma. Thanks to Eric Glesser at Spyderco for personally handing me this over the counter at Blade Show this year. If you get a chance to go to Blade Show and check out Spyderco's booth, there's just a bunch of great folks there, and they are knife people. It's not just a product to them at Spyderco. They're a knife company. They make knives. They are founders of so many things. They created the pocket clip. They created this opening hole, one-handed opening hole. You probably heard me say that before. I sound like a fanboy because I are one. So anyway, that's the Spyderco Charisma. And this has been Survival on Purpose Sharp Saturday. I really sincerely appreciate you watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident. Be prepared. I'll see you next time.